Welcome, folks, to another episode of Who's Ghost Stories. I am your host, Andrew Huzar of Huzar Reiki and Readings. We've got our research expert, Sean, and paranormal enthusiast slash cryptid expert, Professor Alex Wheaton. As always, link in the description. Get yourself some crystals from spiritmagica.net. We've got some points and a little couple guys here that we've gotten from them. They do have some really nice quality. As I've said in the past, shipping can be a little bit of a bear, but with the deals you can get, especially on their kits, I think right now, as of filming, they are running specials on their gridding kits. They come with a whole bunch of crystals, and depending on the one you get, you'll either get a cloth that has a gridding pattern, or you'll get a wood tiles about this size that you can put together to create your own pattern and then put the crystals on there.
Nice.
All of them different prices, but they usually do run pretty good sales. Use our link. Go ahead. That'll give us a little kickback. But then use coupon code WHO'SARE11 to score yourself 11% off. That's the best part. And I think if it's your first time going there as well, they have a little like spinny thing, and you can possibly get free shipping on your order, depending on where it lands.
What's the website?
spiritmagica.net. Use our link in the description. Give us that sweet kickback. Today, we are heading back to Buffalo.
Yep.
This was a place brought up to me by, I'm pretty sure might as well be our Buffalo correspondent, Tyler, at this point. And one of my brother's best friends. Every time my brother tells him we have a new podcast episode, he immediately asks my brother if we're covering the Buffalo terminal. So we're finally covering it. This is a place I've been trying to save because I really want to go here. And they do offer some ghost tours where it's like $30 a person, and for 4 hours they'll let you in and pretty much just let you explore the entire terminal for those 4 hours in that night. They haven't been offering them lately. I'm hoping they offer them more in the fall, but the main reason is because, and we'll cover it a little bit here, last year a couple of paranormal investigators illegally broke onto the property and were doing an investigation, and the woman actually fell through the roof and had to be taken to the hospital.
This is the one?
This is the one.
Oh.
Sorry,
we've been kind of half talking about it without saying which one it was, so this is...
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, as we always say, get permission. Be careful. Be respectful.
Don't trespass.
Don't trespass. And because of that, they're not offering as many frequent ghost hunts. So I think in the fall, they might be offering more. If they do, you will see a part 2 and possibly a part 3. It is a 4-hour exploration there. So we will do it again if we can get there, if they do offer it again. There is a lot of history to this place. So Sean, go ahead and start us off.
Buffalo Central Terminal. In 1929, the Art Deco masterpiece that is the Buffalo Central Terminal was built. This beautiful train station and 17-story tower was designed to handle over 200 trains and 10,000 passengers daily, as well as up to 1,500 terminal employees. People everywhere thought this station would be used and cherished for generations to come. However, in October of 1979, the final passenger train departed the Central Terminal as the landmark station closed its doors. Despite being abandoned and unused, the station was placed on the National and State Registers of Historic Places in 1984. Then, in 1997, the Buffalo Central Terminal was acquired by the non-profit Central Terminal Restoration Corporation. Since then, they have been working to keep the terminal pristine while hosting many public functions. Even though the terminal sat abandoned for more than 25 years, it still experienced its own activity.
Many people have claimed to experience paranormal phenomena while exploring the train station. Most of these experiences involve innocent-looking orbs, floating around and showing up in pictures. However, these orbs have tragic backstories. During World War II, the station was used for men departing for the war. This was also the place where their grieving families would claim the bodies of fallen soldiers. Legend says that the spirits of these sad, fallen soldiers haunt the station. These aren't the only spirits stuck inside the terminal, though. Multiple investigations have come across the ghost of a woman named Rose. Nobody knows why, but Rose despises men, often refusing to allow them to come close to her. Rose can be found wandering in many areas, but her favorite seems to be the old baggage claim. One chilling experience with Rose talks about how she was located in a room full of cabinets by two male investigators. They were standing outside the doorway, asking questions, but received no response until one of them asked, "Where are you, Rose?" A female voice responded by saying, "The corner." The other investigator knocked on the doorway and asked, "Would it be all right if we come in?" They received a very loud and clear "no" in response, sending the two men running.
Two other popular ghosts you can find are of two children, a young girl and a young boy. The boy is known as Zachary, but no identity has been given to the girl. The two of them can be found wandering the halls and playing together in the abandoned rooms. They don't appear to be fond of investigators, though. Attempts to communicate with them have been met with an eerie silence. Some investigators have brought toys for the children, but they sit untouched until the investigators leave the room. When someone tries to enter the room with them, they quickly exit, usually only being seen as two small orbs. There are even more spirits trapped here that differ from the ones mentioned. Once the station was abandoned, many homeless people snuck into the building looking for shelter during Buffalo's frigid winters. However, the lack of heat still meant many of them perished inside. The bodies were removed, but there was no way to remove the energy and spirits stuck wandering the station.
This historic landmark has seen a great deal of history. The restoration group holds many events inside, celebrating its history. During the Halloween season, they'll even offer ghost hunts and tours. However, the station still has a problem with many people trying to explore and investigate illegally. Just last year, 2 people broke in to carry out a ghost hunt. Unfortunately, one of them ended up falling through a substation roof and needed to be rushed to a hospital. If you're interested in visiting this historic location, please do so legally, safely, and respectfully. This is not only the final resting spot for some, but is also the place when families saw their loved ones for the last time, and where their bodies were claimed. People debate whether the Buffalo Central Terminal is haunted or not. One thing that can't be denied is that this historic location has its own unique energy and aura.
So, like I said, very historic location.
Very sad location.
Very
Yes.
sad. What I find all of this interesting because I said before I love history, especially one like World War II era, and so every part of this is interesting to me, and I love that investigations have already confirmed so much because that does. You've still got the ghost story and legends aspects, but then you've also got the like confirmation
Unexplained,
from
evidence.
that thing's going on. I think the soldiers definitely feels like self-explanatory to me, but as soon as I read all this, I was very curious about Rose and to know why she despises men. My first thought went to she had a bad relationship and she was trying to escape it. That's why she is at the train station. But then my mind went to another one. Could she have been one of these grieving widows, or could she have been waiting for a lover that never came?
Right.
I was going to say that the hard thing is that the reality is it was the central train
Ooh, I just got chilled
station.
myself for some reason.
So it's like that, so many possibilities. And you're right, the only reason that she would have an aversion towards men is some kind of trauma.
Reason,
Whether it was, running away or losing. There's some kind of trauma connected to men, which is why she's very against it. So I don't... You bring up a good point, and I don't know the answer, and I don't think we'll find that answer anytime soon. But it's very interesting, and, the unfortunate reality is we're 3 males.
Yeah.
Yes.
So even if we visited here, the chances of her talking to us, really slim.
And, it takes a lot of energy for a spirit to do anything in our realm, especially physically talk. So the energy she exerted to tell these guys no is like a spiritual nuclear bomb.
Yeah, that's a lot of...
Is there actually energy, or is there electricity still in the terminal, or...
When
I'll say, since they were doing the renovation stuff, there definitely would be.
Yeah,
they would have generators and stuff there.
Yeah. So yes, I think she fascinates me the most because I want to know her story. But like you said, I don't think there's a way to get it. And what's interesting is no one's had a female investigator, or at least reported it, to try to go see if they can get anything out. But she seems so standoffish, I feel like she still wouldn't open up.
Yeah, even if it was a female.
Yeah, I don't know if she's...
Or, we all assume that she doesn't like men, and maybe it's just she likes women even less.
That could be.
If we want to go with the idea that, she could have been someone who was a woman scorned. Legitimately, she could hate men, but she could also hate women more because her man left her for someone else.
Right.
It's so hard to... It's hard to figure out anything simply because the nature of this one. So,
and since she's found mostly at the baggage claim, really makes me think she was waiting for someone.
Yeah.
Whether
someone or something.
Whether it was a soldier coming home or a lover. There is a reason that she would keep going back to the baggage claim. She wanders the whole area, but if that's where she keeps coming back to,
there's significance.
Yeah, she's attached to that spot for some reason.
I kind of want to know about the unknown girl.
And I couldn't find anything notating how they identified Zachary.
Yeah.
I couldn't,
You'd think if you could find the one, you should be able to find the other.
Right.
When I was reading about them and everything with them, it definitely came off as 2 shy children.
Yeah.
And why they're there is...
My question is, how long ago did they show up?
Yeah.
You're the one that looked this up. Is there any answer to that one?
No.
Because if the homeless were using it and died, I could almost believe that the reason they're shy is they were homeless children.
That definitely could be.
And that would be why, when you're homeless, if you're trespassing and someone comes in, you go and hide. They're not going to want to engage with anyone, especially adults, because police are adults.
Yeah.
Right.
So just on that end, that's what makes me think that they were probably homeless during that time, and that's where they come from, at least without knowing the timeline of when certain apparitions showed up and things like that. I would only imagine
that makes sense.
Makes the most sense if they were orphan children that are homeless.
So a question either of you can take first, whoever wants it. The 2 children, what do you think the relationship is? Do you think they were brother-sister, just friends, or do you think, Zachary was already deceased when she came in, and he tried to become, almost like a protector to her?
You have way too many possibilities there.
Because it could be any of them.
Yeah, the reality is any of them could be true.
I tend to believe that they were closely either friends or related while they were alive.
The fact that
Seeing as how it's very rare to see, spirits joining with each other after.
Yeah, it's more than likely that in life they were close. So I doubt the spiritual protection part, but they're definitely either very close friends. How old are they?
It doesn't say.
Yeah.
Because that's the other question, is how old are they? Are they preteen? Because then it could be a terrible Romeo and Juliet kind of situation. Like, there's so much possibility with children.
Because they're so quick to avoid investigators, there's not much known. The orbs were described as being about knee to thigh height on most of the investigators, and the toys that get the most activity once the investigators leave are stuffed animals.
So probably about 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which leans more towards like a brother
and
sister
sister
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Running around, and like you said, hiding out. These investigators keep coming around. Same thing.
Strangers.
Or these are kids that are playing hide and seek with the investigators. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Ooh, that'd be interesting if we did go and we did find them somewhere or sense them somewhere to, like, almost instigate
I just
the game
got
of hide and seek.
goosebumps thinking of these two spirits going, "You found us." Like,
Yeah.
No, we didn't. You were it.
Yeah, there's definitely... As you said, you were interested in Rose most. I'm definitely most interested specifically in the unnamed girl. Like, the fact that we have a Zachary, I want to know why the heck we have the name. But, like, I want to know more about this unnamed girl. That's where I'm at.
I couldn't find anything 100% saying how they identified Zachary, but I would guess that it was an investigation with
Right.
some sort of like spirit box or something where they were able to get that out of him, and that was it. But yeah, the girl, no one's even had a name to guess her by. They just keep referring to her in investigations as the young girl. But the two orbs are always together.
And if we could get the name out of Zachary, just putting it forward, we don't know exactly how young or old they are. She could be the younger sister, and by that I mean not able to talk yet.
Right.
Let me see if I can...
Because if you the older younger sibling thing, when you're close in age,
Yeah.
it's no big deal. The longer the gap, the less of the close bond you have. But when you're that close in age, if you're like 5 and 3, that's close enough that you know you're going to protect your younger sibling. Even if it's 2 and 5 or 2 and 4, like, you're going to protect your younger sibling because you're told by your parents, take care of them, watch out for them. So I could imagine that
Oh man.
she might not be able to talk
You
realistically.
said take care of them, watch out for them, and I
Mhm.
just imagine that these parents just left these two kids at the train station.
Well, I mean, if you're homeless in the winter and you're trying
Oh, I
to
wasn't
protect
talking
your kids...
homeless.
I
mean,
know you were
Oh,
They were just leaving their kids at this train station.
that could be as well.
like there's too many possibilities without having an actual detailed history. It's hard to really know.
Interesting enough, I don't know how it is around Halloween and when they start offering ghost
Yeah.
hunts, but the official website in the Historical Society is very quick to make sure they do not mention anything about spirits and ghosts.
Well, yeah.
And the history is toned down as well. Like on the website, like it just mentions, like, this is where soldiers got on trains, and they skip over entirely the station being abandoned as well. So it is interesting to me that, like, parts of the history are, like, almost like trying to be forgotten and, like, prodded back, like, this never happened. And I wonder if, like, in part of that is gonna make it hard to get, like, an actual history of events and things that occurred here. Because there could be an easy answer to Zachary and the young girl that we would just
Yeah.
never know. I'm trying to find... There was a really interesting picture from one of the investigations.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something with this that just...
And there's enough history there that, like you said, it could be anything.
Yeah. If it was just World War II, okay. You could pick one particular thing, but the fact that it had a long history,
Where it was abandoned.
abandoned, used by the homeless, that still died trying to get out, like, that sets you up already for, this is not a great history. It could be anything.
And it's interesting to me with such tragic histories all around that there aren't any talked about negative spirits. Like, all the orbs seem to just be hanging around, doing their own thing. Rose is the only one that it's ever said has specifically come out saying, "Get out. No, I want nothing to do with you." Oh, here's the picture. Let me see if I can enlarge it. No, why would you let me enlarge it? Oh, it might.
There we go.
Open a new tab. Alright, now show me the image. Can I flip here? Is that asking too much?
Too much.
That's asking too much. So, in this picture, the investigators, and I'll put it on the screen, the investigators found a room that had Zachary's little girl. They got 2 orbs on their camera, but as you'll see, one orb stayed in the room, the other ran towards the investigators.
Okay.
Oh, man.
And the investigators from the post were still in the doorway. So that orb is moving towards the doorway.
Yeah.
Alright, there goes my hide and seek theory. They're playing tag.
But, like, so I mean, that adds to the kids a bit, because is Zachary, the older brother, trying to protect her, and he's going towards the investigators to investigate them? Is one of them just
she
running?
The curious one and running up? Like, yeah, there's a lot to unpack there.
No, and that's what puts us towards the top of my list of places I want to go. And I've got the calendar bookmarked, so once they do start offering things, like, we will be taking a trip to get there, because I do want to explore. Even just aside from the paranormal stuff, just the historical aspect of this ancient train station.
So at Halloween time, when they open it up for tours, is it, what kind of tour? Is it overnight? Is it just an hour? Like,
You get 4 hours. And
there is a guide, but they let you just kind of explore around certain areas.
Yeah, there are 2 types. There are public ones, where everyone pays like $30 a piece. The guide gives you a tour around the area, and then releases you to go do as you want. Or you can do a private one, where it's $60 a person. Same sort of thing, but it's just your group of people instead. I think either one would be fascinating to do, since they do just let you go and explore. Which would be fantastic and amazing, especially if we did witness any of the proof that anyone else did, or if we did run into Rose. Which I could see Rose being tricky to find, because I feel like if you're not prodding her, she will just avoid you. And same probably with the kids. If you're not actively provoking them or trying to, they're just going to
keep moving.
Yeah. But if we do get there, what would you expect, or what would you be looking out for? Since we do have investigators already having proof of things there, it could be more like, what would you be looking for, or anything like that?
I would specifically be looking for the children. That's what I'm invested in, finding them and seeing, where they're hiding and what they're doing. That would be my thing that I'm looking for. We may not see them until we look back at any footage, but I definitely think there's orbs. I don't think that's I don't think that's even like a question. I think we know that we're gonna see that.
Yeah, I agree on the orbs there.
That's what I was gonna say. Orbs, boys. Orbs. Orbs aplenty.
Yeah, it's
everybody that goes here sees orbs. We are the orb boys.
Yeah.
We are here for the orbs.
I'm hoping they're less crazy than the Gutenberg ones.
Make them all crazy.
Bring it on.
Outside of that, I'm definitely, we're going to see orbs.
Again, interesting enough, like, there's no feelings of bad orbs there.
Yeah.
Which this would be a place that I would 100% say.
Based off of the story alone, you would think there would be a lot of negative.
And you think about it, yeah, they're claiming bodies, but this is when they're being reunited with their family. I don't really see a lot of people feeling, necessarily regret knowing that at least they were back home. To die in another place and then have no clue if you're ever going to be reunited with your family's awful. So even if you passed on and you're reunited, I wouldn't presume that to be overly negative.
Like, there's going to be sad emotions connected to it simply from the living.
Right.
But at the same time, can't help but wonder about the homeless. That's where I see the negative kind of...
Well, and this is Buffalo winters. Like,
I'll say we're from this area, even though we're not Buffalo. It is...
Buffalo is probably the only city that gets colder than Erie.
Yeah, we've bundled up to some games up there.
And I don't mean like just in the U.S. I mean in the world. Buffalo is probably the only place that gets worse weather than Erie.
Yeah, Antarctica is surprisingly good. It's just cold.
I would rather be in, Siberia in the winter than here in Erie most winters.
And Buffalo gets it even worse. Their roofs collapse because of snow.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, but I agree with both of you. I think orbs everywhere.
Days.
I would wanna find the kids. I would wanna find Rose and see how much interactions could be done, without pushing too many buttons.
Yeah.
When
because that's really our thing is we're not
No.
even if we're
not
looking into
to
it, we're not
entice
trying to do any.
anything.
We're not here to mess with anyone. It's just we're interested.
We're here. You want to talk to us? Great. If you don't, great. We're just checking out your place.
Yeah, we heard about you and we want to come see you. That's it.
Yeah, I agree. But I think that does it for the Buffalo Central Terminal. Again, we are looking forward to trying to get in there one day. So stay tuned for part 2, part 3. Could be even part 4. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Give us 4 hours in there. We'll see how many episodes we turn out.
4-part miniseries.
Yeah, we'll film every second we're in there, and
We'll live stream it.
We'll just put them up. Yeah, subscribe, like, stay tuned for more. Next episode, I'm throwing a bit of a surprise at these two fellas.
We have no idea.
Nope.
Definitely tune in because I think it's going to be a fun ride.
Thanks, guys.
Stay in the light.